everybody. Welcome to Douglas Freeman High School. Richie Babb here along with Frank Lapoli, Mr. Wrestling here at ACC 40. And we're here with the state dual team championship, and we'll see Stonewall Jackson against the Wildcats of Great Bridge. What do we know about Stonewall Jackson?
Well, Stonewall Jackson is a team that's just going to come at you real physical all the way. They're coming to this dual meet 19-2. And again, you know, they've got a lot of heart on their side. They started the tournament off by beating Green Run. Green Run had beaten them soundly early in the season, and they come back, so that's a high. And then they just had a big win in the semifinals, and now it's on at Great Bridge. So everything they get, they've got to earn. It's not like they're expecting anything. So that's a dangerous team. It's a real dangerous team.
And Frank had a chance to talk to Stonewall Jackson coach Bill Cameron.
Had a big win in the first round over Green Run.
Right. I guess some of it an upset considering they'd already beaten us a month ago.
You're in the show, the main event. One day, all of it's behind you and one left to go. You got a big task ahead of you. Great Bridge is got to be considered the favorite in the bout.
I guess so. Perennial champions, dual meet and tournament. The challenge was getting here. Now the challenge is trying to take them away from their style.
And of course, Frank, we've seen them before, but they're here at the state finals of Great Bridge Wildcats.
Great Bridge, what can you say? Ranked fifth in the nation, 21-0. They're riding a wave. But the key is when you're doing as well as they're doing, it's keeping their intensity up. Their big moves are cradles and Turks. They haven't been able to score them in the last two matches. So that's a concern. But they've got an arsenal of weapons, and they're going to other things, and they're winning. It's important for Great Bridge to get the momentum going early. At 125, Stonewall Jackson puts up their first big gun, and at 160 with Mark Brady, who was second in the state last year, he's going to try to stop the flow or continue it going for Stonewall Jackson. So Great Bridge has got to get it going early and expect to see some real fireworks in the first three weight classes.
And Frank did have an opportunity to talk to Coach Steve Martin from Great Bridge.
Great Bridge High School, 21-0 on the eve of their second dual meet state championship. But it's not over yet. You still got some wrestling left to do.
Yeah, if we don't wrestle consistently these next 13 matches, we won't be the state champions, and I just told my guys that. They realize that. We wrestled a pretty strong performance against Centerville, and I'm expecting all 13 guys to wrestle up to their ability in this match, and we should be out all right.
You said in the paper that you thought you were a little flat in the first round.
Yes, we're very flat. If we would have wrestled like we wrestled last night in the semifinals today, Centerville would have beat us. So we had to take a couple newspaper articles back to the hotel and show the guys, you know, what other people thought of Centerville and how tough they were. And I think they realized that if they hadn't wrestled like they did today, they would have got beat. So we used a little bit of psychology last night on them.
And before we get started with the match, you can see it's about ready to get underway. But first, Frank's over with some wrestlers from Stonewall Jackson and Great Bridge, showing you some key moves. Frank?
Stonewall Jackson got here on the strength of three big moves. The first one was their best takedown, which is called an inside step high crotch. You see him reaching, takes an outside step and pinches for 2 points. That's an inside step. On bottom, very basic, they're just trying to get up to their feet, and they're doing that with an inside step stand-up. To score back points, Stonewall Jackson has been doing what they call a one-on-one to a Mills or a spiral ride or a half Nelson. All three words work. What they're doing is they're starting with their spiral ride, getting a one-on-one right here, changing sides, putting a deep half in right here, and then driving them under. The man's blocked, and hopefully they'll pick up a fall or can stop Great Bridge from doing that roll. Great Bridge is scoring a little differently on their feet this weekend. They're doing a sweep. They're taking that outside step, running the corner, popping their head up, and scoring 2 points. On bottom, what's working for Great Bridge is their knockback shrug. They're bumping back into the guy, getting their hips up, turning into their head, running around, and they're scoring their 2 for the takedown, and they're getting those back points, and that's exactly to where they want to be. At the state tournament, Great Bridge has been turning people, but they haven't been turning their traditional ways. The cradles haven't been working for them. The Turks haven't been working for them, but what has been working for them is their arm bars, and this is how they're getting into it. They're picking up that ankle, driving and scooting their arm bar right in here. You see that in there? They're tilting them up, and this is where they're scoring their back points. They want to hold this guy in a danger position, and hopefully that'll carry Great Bridge to their second dual meet team championship. There's only one thing left, and that's the wrestling. Great Bridge is going to try to win this thing, but it's got to be won on the mat, guys.
And here we are at Douglas Freeman High School. Douglas Southall Freeman. You see DSL in the middle of the, or DSF rather, right out there in the middle of the mat. Richie Babb along with Mickey Irving. He's here. We'll be talking to him a little bit later, and also Frank Lapoli as always. And Frank, we're just about ready to get underway here. The 103-pound weight division. Great Bridge, as we said, now 21-0. Stonewall Jackson 19-2.
No question about it. And now it's come down. All the talk is over. We're down to two teams, Stonewall Jackson and Great Bridge. The baddest dog gets the bone.
I tell you what, ACC 40 viewers have had a chance to see a few Stonewall Jackson wrestlers before from the Deep Creek Hornet Christmas Classic. So some people like Mark Braid, who we'll see at 160, and a few others are certainly not new to the viewers, and they know that Stonewall Jackson's a pretty tough team.
Stonewall Jackson is very good. You can see Great Bridge. Just what we talked about, that outside sweep single, and he scores right with it, gets right up on the scoreboard, and he hasn't scored it yet. 2-0, and we're off to the start that I was telling you. Great Bridge has to get out on the scoreboard early.
Both these wrestlers, Frank, have had their share of victories. Darnell is 18-4, and Gary Hobbs from Stonewall Jackson is 24-2.
Well, these are no slouches, and they've proven the way. And the coach from Stonewall Jackson mentioned that they got to get off. They need this match. Both teams need this match.
Tell you what, both wrestlers are really quite strong. We saw Gary Hobbs in a match over at Deep Creek earlier during the Christmas Classic.
We did that, and there's a good shot there. You can see they tried to do an inside switch there, and he's blocking him off with his shoulder and pulling his ankle. That'll definitely stop him.
Frank, we had several sponsors want to participate. We have Irving Landscaping, who agreed to give us some funds and agreed to help us out. Also, Chesapeake Bay Corporation, and also Nels Ridge Car Wash in Great Bridge. All of them, and also the Atlantic Auto Auction. Were they involved this time?
Atlantic Auto Auctions has been our stellar all the way through. And there's that Turk reaching in for a Turk and scoring back points. If he can score a pin here, he's going to take a lot of steam out of Stonewall Jackson right from the get-go. So look for Darnell to it's a momentum game at this point. Atlantic Auctions, this is their third telecast they've been with us. They've been a stellar sponsor, and we appreciate their support and everyone that's helped us with our wrestling telecast.
Well, 1 second to go in the first period. Things are really rolling. Darnell at Great Bridge up 2-0 on a takedown very early in the first period. And we'll start now the second period with the score still 2-0. Darnell's on the bottom, and as you've mentioned before, Frank, that's about the best place to score points if you've got to start somewhere.
Yo, no question. That's what Great Bridge wants to be. Most teams are afraid to be on bottom, where they're right at home being on bottom with the roll series that they so effectively do, and to set the standard for. There's an inside switch. He rolled him, and he just scooted his hips out. He's got to bring his head up. He's not. Yeah, you got to bring his head up, and if the guy follows him, he's going to reach. Now he's changed off to what is called a single leg. Watch his elbow. It's behind his knee. Where that elbow goes is whether he'll stand. It's popped to the outside. He doesn't have anything. Now there's that spladle that they were so afraid of, and he still got it. He's still forcing it. Oh no! He's gonna get it too. Nope. A spladle is a half cradle, half crossface. So it's called a spladle.
Halfway through the second period, Darnell's still up by 2.
And it's a way of taking the man down when he shoots in on you, he's in on a single leg, and you pin him with his own move. So that's what Great Bridge is. They've talked to Wayne and Stephen Martin, and they have been working on that counter all week. And right from the get-go, there's that Splato coming right at you. It's a really wild-looking move. You look like you're getting pinned when you do it. You'll definitely hear everybody. There's the move we talked about in our preview, the Stonewall Jackson. There's that one-on-one half Nelson or spiral ride, and that's what they're scoring with. And they're not doing anything fancy. They're just coming right at you with just power and just making it happen. It's 2-0 here with Darnell from Great Bridge over Ferry. Now, between both these wrestlers here, they have combined with 35 wins and just 2 losses. So both teams need this victory.
3 seconds to go in the second period.
There's a switch.
Neither wrestler able to score. Kind of looked like Darnell was going to get the reverse, but he never really got it.
Right. He third period, and Ferry takes down. What happens if he reverses him and nothing happens here? I'm sorry, it's Hobbs. So many wrestlers in the ring. Gary Hobbs. I'm off to a great start. And Gary's 24-2, so he pushes that win total a little higher between the two wrestlers. There's a switch, but that's okay. See, they'd rather be on the bottom. Great Bridge would rather be on the bottom anyway, because they could pull it out, reverse, and put the guy on his back and win it. I like to have a penny for every match they've won in the last few seconds.
Yeah, you're right about that, especially against Centerville in the match just before this that we were able to see.
And 2 of them pulled 2 out in the late going.
Including David Hall.
David Hall, and we'll have a nice piece on him later on in the match. Feature on David Hall, well-deserved from the senior from Great Bridge. Crossface cradle, he's got to block his toe right here right there, the inside foot in between the 2 guys. That's what's saving him. Doesn't look like it's saving him, but that did save him there. He used his toe to block the guy off.
We got a minute to go in the third period. It's all tied up. Darnell of Great Bridge and Hobbs, each with 2 points. Hobbs on a reversal and Darnell with a takedown. Inside 1 minute. At the end of this match, we're going to go to Mickey Irving, and he's going to tell us about how these teams got here. Coach, go ahead.
Coach Bill Cameron from Stonewall Jackson was very reserved in my conversation with him. He was like, you got to watch out for those quiet guys. He goes, we've got certain things we've got to do. We've got to win at 25. We've got to win at 60. 103 is a must-win for us. 71 in heavyweight. So he's got to beat the Dumpster, and the Dumpster is a tough guy to beat later on. Now, there's a 4-2.
So that'll be 4-2 in favor of the Wildcats. Sean Darnell now with two scoring opportunities.
See, and what did they do? He waited to the end, 9 seconds to go in the bout. He scores 2 points, he wins. So they scored late. I told you, that's exactly where Great Bridge wanted to be. He's just going to tie those legs up and come out a winner here. And that hurt. That hurt Stonewall Jackson big time. They needed that.
So that'll make the team score 3-0 in favor of Great Bridge. Let's go to Mickey Irving now, and he can tell us about how these teams got here. Mickey?
Real quick, I'll tell you how these guys got here. Stonewall Jackson's the Northwest Region champion. They defeated Green Run and West Springfield. Great Bridge, of course, ranked number 5 in the nation by USA Today. Defeated Green Run for the Eastern Region. Then they beat Woodbridge, and then they just had a tough match against Centerville. So they're going to have to go back-to-back now here against Stonewall Jackson. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mickey. We're down to 1:50 to go. Nobody scored until right that moment. Danny DeReese able to get 2 takedown points, and that'll put him up 2-0.
And DeReese, he's a banger. There's no question about it. He's a banger. DeReese just kind of pounds it away for you. DeReese 26-3, and I believe 2 of those losses were to Aaron Mikowitz, who's totally undefeated. They've had some real battles.
Yeah, they sure have. Ben Labrazzi of Stonewall Jackson is 11-7-1.
We've got to, again, look at Great Bridge in these lower weights. Stonewall Jackson starts hitting their strength when he gets up in the middle, up through about 171. And they're actually not bad right on through, but unfortunately they don't really have a strong heavyweight.
There's an escape point for Labronte, so that'll be 2-1.
Now look for Darice to come back with his front headlock. He's going to snap him down here and front headlock. There it is, front headlock, and then he'll kind of bang him, watch him kind of bang his head.
He loves that. He loves that.
Boing, it's like, here I am, there it's into a cradle. I think it's just like a wake-up call, you know. He's front headlock, boing, there's the basketball dribble, I like to call it. That's what it looks like he's doing.
We didn't see Labronte in the finals over at Deep Creek. He didn't make it that far.
There's that bar we talked about. Right there it is, a perfect example of what Great Bridge has been scoring with. And he's pinning him. He's over, baby.
39 seconds, and that's it. That's a pin for Danny DeReese. And that'll make the score 9-0 in the favor of Great Bridge.
See, it's 9-0, and these Stonewall Jackson guys, they're I don't know if they're settling on, okay, we got here, wonderful, but they don't seem to have a lot of fire in them, and Great Bridge seems to be a little bit more pumped up than Stonewall Jackson does.
Well, you know, if you look over at them, the Stonewall Jackson team seems to reflect the attitude of their coach, very reserved, very quiet, and they just seem to be reflecting. If you look down the bench, everybody on the bench looks like that.
Well, it's definitely not reflective of their style of wrestling in this tournament. They've done real well in the tournament. We'll see. They need to stop the tide. 9-0. If you don't stop the crack, the water's going to flow, baby.
That's for sure. Here at 119, Labisha Kostick in the green and gold from Great Bridge. He's 14-10-1. Aaron Smith from Stonewall Jackson is 5-2.
Again, Stonewall Jackson must stop the flow. And they don't seem to have the firepower here in the lower weights. But anything can happen. Remember what we've always said along all of our telecasts. It only takes 2 seconds to end the match, and that's with a fall. And a good way to beat it. See there that roll. Watch, see guys knee block there. He's changed it off. Again, the thing about this spladle, that's what he's trying to do here. He's too late with it. His hips are far underneath him. If you get it, it's great, but it's really hard to do, and you can get beat in it real easy, just like he did. He tried to spladle, and he got beat. It's a bit of a trickster move, and basic wrestling is what pays off. Just like a foundation of a house. You got to have a good foundation, or the house is going to fall down. You got to have a good base, or you're going to get taken down.
That's right. It's 2-2 right now. Aaron Smith scored first with a takedown, and then Labisha Kostick reversed it for 2 more points, so it's tied up 2-2.
Richmond, Virginia is the home of this year's AAA state championship. We're at Douglas Freeman High School. Last night, it wasn't here at Douglas Freeman.
It was over at Tucker High School.
Tucker High School, right up the street.
Very nice facility, I understand.
Very nice facility.
And of course, Douglas Freeman, a lot of tradition here, especially in their spring sports like softball, baseball, and even in the fall, their cross country. They've won. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1 cross country, 1 boys track. They have a few state champions here. They're quite proud of themselves, as they should be here at. I don't even know where we are all of a sudden here at Douglas Freeman.
Okay, there's that Torella. Watch him. He's going to get it. He's got to get his elbow on his back to do that, and he's going to lift him. He's got to arch his toe. Look for his toe to tilt him. There it is. See it tilt him. He's going to need to score his back points. The back, you've got to be less than 45 degrees. You can watch his angle on his back there, and he doesn't have it, so he's not going to score anything.
And that's the end of the first period. It's still tied 2-2. Aaron Smith got his 2 points on a takedown, and Kostick got his on a reversal. Kostick, a Great Bridge wrestler. And Kostick will start on the bottom to begin this second period.
There he's going to set up his roll. Watch him reach back. There it is. See, he got his wrist, and he was going to. You got to run his knees underneath him, or he's going to cut him back. What you call it, cut him back, back him out. Watch his knees and his toes. He's going to see sitting underneath him. He's going to cut him back. And he's going to reach back. He got him where he wanted him now. He'll reach. Nope. Uh-oh. He's in a spladle situation. There it is. That's the third spladle attempt. And it didn't work.
Sure didn't.
But they're going to catch somebody on it sooner or later here. Great Bridge is defending against it real well. Now it's going to try to reach back. Watch him. He'll reach back at his wrist. There it is. And just sit and roll him. He's got his leg hooked. And now he'll reach in there and try to roll him. And he's still trying to live by that spladle. Can't do it because you got to have the head blocked, and he's only blocking his shoulder.
55 seconds to go in the second period.
Got a roll position there. Now we're looking for the back points. We talked about that block back shrug. What they're going to do, turn in shrug they're doing, and that's slimmer. I don't see that he did get his back points there though.
4-2 now in favor of Caustic. $18 seconds to go in the second period. And it looks like Smith trying to get out of bounds, and indeed he does. The whistle blows, the clock stops, and they'll return back to the center of the ring. They'll return back to the center of the mat.
Yeah, man. They'll be throwing boxing gloves here in a minute.
Yeah.
Great Bridge has had a banner year, 21-0 with an exciting. I mean, these guys aren't going to forget about this, and this is how that tradition builds. And it's not over. The good news for Great Bridge fans, they're in the finals of the state championship. The bad news for everybody else, guys, they got 10 guys back.
Ooh. We're going to go into the third period now. Caustic up 4-2.
I tell you what, one thing, Stephen Martin has done a great job in his first year, and I heard that his team, for a present for him, if they win this match, is going to buy him a new sports jacket.
Oh. Well, that green coat does kind of go with everything.
Yeah, green, yeah, it goes with it's cool colors. Oh, nice. Did that shrug again. That little outside sweep, and there's his takedown. They just kind of slide to the outside. Watch, he's going to pull his ankle. See if he can pick up a cradle or block that.
That's 2 more points for Caustic, and Caustic has gotten his points all kinds of ways. A reversal, 2 back points, a takedown, and he's up 6-2 with 1:10 to go in the third period.
They're trying to get their inside bar on him, but he missed it.
Well, the coach really, Coach Bill Cameron really doesn't have a whole lot to say to his wrestlers while they're on the mat.
That's not Great Bridge's style. It's definitely a total contrast in coaching styles. One coach is much more laid back, and the other staff they're all lined up behind each other. It's quite funny, kind of like leaning over, trying to get a better view.
28 seconds to go.
And there's the coaching staff of Great Bridge, and they've been in that position since 10 minutes before the match started.
Practicing. Not a very big crowd here, but I guess the individual state tournament is still much more popular.
Well, yes, but you got to consider that you're going to follow the team that's in this thing, and we are none of the Richmond teams are in this bout. People are going to go home, opposed to if it was home. If it was in Tidewater, there would be a large crowd, but that's not going to lessen it any. When they go home, their credit will be well due. And Caustic wins the match 6-3, and Great Bridge takes I like to call a commanding lead.
You think so? It was 9-0, so let's see. That'll give them a decision, so that'll make it 12-0 in favor of Great Bridge coming into the 112 weight division. Here, Brian Jones, who has been surprising at times, he's 22-3-1 against Tommy Clater, who's 25-2.
Well, this is where they got to stop it, right here. Now, if Great Bridge can win this match right here and stop Clater at 25-2, one of their better wrestlers, against Jones, which is an excellent wrestler. If you put Jones on Stonewall Jackson's team, he's one of their stellar performers. But this is their winner. This has been Stonewall Jackson's consistent winner right here. I don't want to call it over early, but they definitely are on the ropes if they can't pull this match out. They need to win this match to make it a match.
Still no score, 1:16 to go in the first period.
Knee pick. Pretty.
2 takedown points there for Clater. He'll be up 2-0 after that.
I asked Great Bridge guys about the scouting report, and one of the things they were concerned about was that very move there, called a knee pick. They have the head, they take the head to the knee, and opposite knee, and it takes you off balance, and that's a takedown.
That'll be one escape point for Brian Jones. It'll make it 2-1. Brian Jones apparently doesn't want Slater to get a hold of his legs or his knees. Well, he's keeping those things out of the way.
Well, he's got a good stance, getting his legs back, and that's what you got to do. What the coaches say, bent arms, bent knees is a good defense. And then Great Bridge is trying that outside sweep. You know, certain things work for you, and then you've got to have a plan B. You know, if you're running up the middle, there it is. You pull the elbow and doing that outside step, outside sweep, and oh, close. Clater is definitely, you know, not in awe at all by Great Bridge, and Bill Cameron was a big concern that maybe Stonewall Jackson would be at awe at Great Bridge's tradition and reputation and national ranking, and. But Clater doesn't seem to bother him at all at this point. He's trying to set up. You see the blocking off. Yep. They're both trying to get the same move on each other, which is pretty cute.
That's the end of the second period. 2-1 still in favor of Clater of Stonewall Jackson.
We appreciate your sponsorships. We have picked up some sponsors.
We sure have.
Since we started our telegraphs, we want to particularly thank Great Atlantic Auctions, Auto Auctions, for getting the ball rolling for us on our sponsorship.
And also Irving Landscaping for giving us some money. See, we have to pay a fee to be able to come in here and cover these state and then regional matches. Irving Landscaping, Chesapeake Bay Corporation, out on has an office out on Cedar Road, and Nels Ridge Car Wash on Battlefield Boulevard. We certainly appreciate all their help.
And please help them as much as they've helped us. And if you'd like to be a part of our telecast, bring this great high school wrestling to your living room, just give us a call.
Minute 20 to go, second period.
There's that spiral ride. See, he's got his arm laced in there, and that's blocking the guy from moving. He can't really move around a lot. And that's what you got to do with Great Bridge. You got to stop them from moving their hips, because if they clear their hips, they'll be able to turn in or roll you and get you wrestling their style. And again, that's what Bill Cameron said, that he wanted to take Great Bridge out of wrestling their style, make them wrestle and use their second move or third move.
It's down to a minute.
2-1. Again, this is a big match. They got to stop the flow of Great Bridge talent and to even have a chance of winning. And this has got to be the first one. Too bad they lost at 1-0. They had a chance of winning at 103, but they didn't.
12-0 is a team score, if I'm adding correctly. And I am, as I check the official scorers table. 27 seconds to go in the second period.
Douglas Freeman High School, Richmond, Virginia, home of the third team championship. The first team championship, the inaugural team championship, was won by Western Branch High School in Chesapeake.
Right.
Southeastern District. Last year, the second was won by Great Bridge.
At Annandale High School, Northern Virginia.
Great Bridge, of course, from Chesapeake, Southeastern District. And now we're in the finals, Richmond, Virginia, and Great Bridge could go on to make it a clean sweep from the Southeastern District.
And it's currently on the way to doing that. It's 12-0 in favor of the Wildcats. And right now, Brian Jones down 2-1 to Tommy Clater. Tommy Clater with a takedown in the first period, and Brian Jones with an escape. And no score since then.
Oh, back points. Nope. Yep, he's got him too. Put him on a snapback, his little snapback. And that's when you sit out, you know, like you're riding a go-kart, and you just pull you straight back. You know, it's kind of like pulling a rug out from under you. That's a 4-1 lead. He's got to get a bigger lead.
Yeah, certainly he'd like to have some bonus points. If he can come out and win this, he'd certainly like to have some bonus points for Stonewall Jackson. They're going to need them.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of pins in this entire tournament from many people, and that's because of the caliber of competition. The guys are getting big, they're better, and it's tougher to pin. Very, very even caliber.
Well, that's the end of the second period, and we'll start the third with Clater up 4-1. Stonewall Jackson about to get their first team points, perhaps, of the tournament, or of this match.
I'm not saying it. You said it.
That's why I said perhaps.
It's 4-1. Well, Great Bridge is on top, which they've got to Cheltenham, or sounds funny. There's that Spladle again. He's going to try to get it. See, try to lace him, force his head down. Watch him. Force his head down. He got that pry. Now he's going to pull his arm out and try to get that far leg. See, that can't do it yet. They'll stalemate him.
A potentially dangerous hold there called by the referee.
Right.
1:35 to go in the third period. 4-1 still.
Now, watch Stonewall Jackson just kind of little front headlock. Watch, he's going out front. See, they're going to gamble. Great Bridge is going to gamble. Now, if they're going to lose, they're going to lose. He's going to try to go for the big points. He's going to try to put him on his back and cradle him. So that's why he's out front. He jumped to the front to do a front headlock on him. And they're back on his feet. It's neutral. Now they've go ahead and got the neutral position. That makes it 5-1. So now he's got to score big points here. He's going to try to get that front headlock. There's this. See that? And roll him under. Oh, but he's going for it. He's trying to fish for it. Got his tight crossed elbow, and he's going to try to pick up a cradle off this if he can, but he did miss it. Got that one-on-one. Now watch him try to slip his half in here. Lock in. It's very basic. You learn that at Pee Wee Wrestling. I know Great Bridge has a fine Pee Wee program, and Pee Wee programs are popping up all over the Tidewater.
31 seconds, 30 seconds to go in the third period. 7-1 in favor of Clater. $17 seconds.
Okay, he's going to scoop his head. He's got to get it really deep, kind of lift. He's got to lift up 10 seconds. He's not going to get it. But at least they get a win out of this. And not going to score. Oh, stop.
Yeah, and indeed that's what the referee says. There's only 1 second to go in the third period. And as soon as this thing starts, as soon as the whistle blows, it's going to be just about over. As I said, only 1 second to go. And so that ends with a match, a win for Stonewall Jackson. There are several Stonewall Jackson fans here, as we see them applaud across the way. But that's only good enough for a decision. So that's going to make it 12-3. Now coming on to the mat at the 130-pound weight division, Chris Madkins from Great Bridge, who's 19-8-1. We saw him get a pin against Green Run. And then Pete Salvano is the wrestler from Stonewall Jackson. He's 25-3.
Again, Stonewall Jackson has got to take advantage of the momentum, and you can see their bench is rooting and roaring. I just say that. They're just a very laid-back team, and just go out there and get the job. You got to watch out for those quiet guys. But they need to, again, win another match here just to keep it close.
Half a minute gone now in the first period. Madkins in the green and gold from Great Bridge. Salvano is in the maroon and gold. Notice, if you can see it, notice on the uniform of Stonewall Jackson, you see those letters right at the bottom? It says Wall, and I've noticed some of the coaches and people have on shirts that say the Wall. So that's what they're calling themselves over at Stonewall Jackson, at least their wrestling team. They are the Wall.
Well, they're definitely going to need to be the Wall to block Great Bridge.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. That's what they're going to need. And the Wall, the building blocks of the Wall are going to have already been laid, and they're just going to have to continue to put in the mortar and put up the bricks because they need to get a lead before they get up to Great Bridge's upper weights where their strength is. But then again, Stonewall Jackson has got some firepower with Mark Blade at 160, 29-0, coming into the dual meet tournament. And he's 31-0 right this moment, and he was second in the state last year. That'll be up in those upper weights, something to look forward to.
Mack has tried to shoot there and get the leg of Salvano, but nothing doing. 30 seconds to go now.
I do watch it. He's trying to see, they're working the elbows. Underhook on the far side. That's underhook under the arms, up on the back. It's called an underhook.
See that a lot with the heavyweight wrestlers.
Right. They kind of live in that. Sumo wrestlers do underhooks. They also do belly wops. But
I like that technical terminology.
Right. Belly wop. That's just trying to pull the head down and get the guy out of position to shoot or get a good takedown. We get that referee to move. If you notice, we have 2 referees. Now, what they started off with is 4 referees, 1 from each region. No referee from your region could referee a match that had your team in it. So they mixed-paired the referees. Stevie Davidson from our region, from the Eastern region, was the referee involved with the state tournament. And as soon as Great Bridge got to the finals, they said, well, Stevie,
you can go home.
See you later, buddy. So he's driving on back to Tidewater.
Well, we're going to start the second period here at the
turn in
130-pound weight
division. And he gives it away. So
and there was no score until Salvano was able to escape.
Right.
And that'll be 1-0 in his favor. Well, he's really going after it now. He's probably the most fired up Stonewall Jackson wrestler we've seen.
Well, they need it. They need to get fired up. They need to win. They need to put a couple of wins together here to cut the score. Stonewall Jackson does have some firepower here with Salvano, and then they're followed at 135 by Neil Johnson. And they need to put some 3 wins together here to put them right back in the match.
Well, you know, starting with Clater, they have, 4 wrestlers that have 20 wins or more.
Right.
Clater had 25, he won. Salvano, you see on the mat now, has 20. Neil Johnson has 21 at 135, and then Nathan Hannum has 22 at 140.
Oh, scored it. Nice, perfect. See the toes inbound? Just like the NFL. Got to drag those 2 feet inbounds to score, and that was picture perfect. Great camera work. We've got some fantastic work by our camera guys. Again, we have 3 TV cameras working this high school state championships, and you just can't ask for better than that.
Absolutely. Score still 1-0.
Next year, we're working on the headgear cam.
53 seconds in the second period. Salvano up 1-0 after an escape.
12-3 is the team score, but Stonewall Jackson is keeping the match close. It's just 1-0. He didn't give him a takedown there, huh?
No, sure didn't.
Bad call. That was a bad call. Picture perfect. And he's getting in deep. He's going to go high. He's kind of trying to swing him over into a bear hug.
Well, I see Mark Strickland up behind the bench getting ready. Nathan Hannum, we mentioned him earlier at 140. He's 2 matches away. Hannum from Stonewall Jackson, 22-5. But he's certainly got his work cut out for him. Mark Strickland, 28-1.
Well, these guys like to get up a little early and get things going, get their adrenaline flowing. Pete Salvano, 20-5, scores 1-0, and
16 seconds is all that's left in the second period, so we're over halfway done with this 130-pound weight division.
It's keeping it close. Whoop, trying to pull that arm down and get that motion going, that penetration. Again, when you're getting teams that evenly match, it's like 2 great fighters. You know, it's hard to score anything on them. There's that underhook on one side, overhook on the other side.
And that's the end of the second period. We're going to the third and final period now at 1:30. No score yet for Chris Madkins, but only 1 point for Salvano, but 1 point, of course, often is enough.
That's true. Salvano's on top, which means in the third period, it was Stonewall Jackson's choice in the second period. They took down. Now, you know, what do you mean choice? What's going on here? At the beginning of each match, you pick odd or even matches. And in that match, your odd or even bout that you send out in match 1, 3, 5, you have to send your guy out first. If you have your choice, whatever it falls on, your choice in rounds. You have to send your guy out first, which that's where the strategy comes in. Once you send a guy out, you can, the team that reports second can send anybody they want out. So you can bump people around. And then when it comes to the second period, if it's your choice, you get to choose whether you want to go standing, which is neutral, top or bottom, or lastly, you can pick to defer and say, I don't want to choose anything. I choose to let him choose, and you can defer and let the other guy make the choice. And that just, the reason they do that is, let's see how the match develops. We want to decide in the third period where we want to be.
How do they decide who gets to pick?
They flip a coin.
Okay.
And in this tournament, we have a criteria. There's an inside switch. He's trying to switch him there, cross face him. He's just got a big step. There it is. See that knee? As soon as it stepped over, that's the criteria. And that gave him 2. And Salvano's out in front, 2-1.
3-1.
3-2.
Because he had an escape earlier.
No, it's 2-1.
Okay.
2-1.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Great Bridge was winning, so it's 2-1. And but that's not enough points. Great Bridge is on bottom. That's exactly where they want to be. Exactly where they want to. He's got him tied up pretty well, though. See that one-on-one right there? It's the only way you can stop a guy from rolling him is cross his wrist, because if you don't have your wrist, you can't get rolled, and you can't clear hips. And now he just cleared himself. There's that bump back shrug. There it was. And see that where he bumped him with his hips? He bumped him with his hips and sat out. And okay, 29 seconds to go. They're going to do it again.
And it's 2-0 in favor of Salvano.
There's
Chris
Steven.
Madkins had been ahead by 1.
Where's Steven? Let's see if we can pick up what Steven's saying here. There's Steven. He was best dressed coach of the year.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, GQ.
How about that? I'm
There's
impressed.
a switch, and watch him turn and roll. And there it is. And he got it. He got it. He got it. Nope, 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 nope. He got it. He whizzer him. No. He wins it. Wins it. Wins it.
How about that?
Wins it with 20-some seconds. It goes 3-2. 16 seconds to go.
So that's going to make it 3-2 now in favor of Madkins.
That's right. They need this win here. They got to pull it out. It doesn't look. They're going to tilt him.
Salvano's on the bottom, and all he's got to do is escape.
Yeah, just hang on his ankles. You just wait right there.
Oh, there's a stalling warning for Chris Madkins.
Yeah, but so what?
Yeah.
So what? All it does is just get a warning. He doesn't have a point against him, and he can do it again. I don't know if the referee, let's see how quickly they call it. If he goes back to the ankles, they should call that. He's not going to do it.
He's not going to do that.
No.
Yeah. 5 seconds.
4, 3, he's out.
Oh, that's an escape point.
Yep.
That'll tie it up at the end of the third period.
Yeah, but he should have won that match. That's a big win for Great Bridge. They'll take that tie. That was big. Did that pushback. Sure, Madkins figures he should have won that match. Shoe was on the other foot.
So that'll make the score 14-5. Let's throw over to Mickey Irving now. Mickey?
Larry Johnson, the boys program supervisor for the Virginia High School League. Thanks for joining us. How do you like this 18 format that you've gone to this year?
I think that's been a big improvement. I think it's one of the reasons we've had the bigger crowds, and it's created a lot more interest in a lot more areas.
And talking about the crowds, where is this going to be held next year?
The host region next year will be the Northwest region, so it could very well be Stonewall, Jackson, or Woodbridge, or Franklin County, one of those stronger teams out of the Northwest region.
Okay, there you go, Frank. You wanted to know. Back to you guys.
Okay.
I had to make my hotel reservations, baby.
Hey, that's right. You got to get them in. Actually, the hotel reservations aren't so tough for the team tournament. Rather, the individual tournament is tough to get rooms.
Right, it's a 2-point takedown, and then a 1-point escape, and Great Bridge, Shannon Baines,
and Neil Johnson.
For Stonewall Jackson.
Shannon Baines is 19-5, by the way. Neil Johnson 21-7.
That hurt. That hurt that last match. Stonewall Jackson needed to score there. They needed points. They could have made this thing and put it in striking distance. So Stonewall Jackson scores. Neil Johnson scores 2 here. And again, we're still in their firepower. Still up with their firepower.
51 seconds to go. It's 3-2 in favor of Neil Johnson of Stonewall Jackson.
Neil Johnson came into the tournament with a 21-7 overall record. And this is where Stonewall Jackson's strength lies. From 125 through 140, they all have 20 wins. There's that little roll. Watch him. He's going to bring his knee under, jump his knee under. There it goes. And just a picture. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it.
That'll be 2 reversal points for Shannon Baines.
Watch his shoulder there. Watch his shoulder, ref. Woo! He's okay. They're going to hook his head. Now he's going to put his elbow. Watch his elbow on the mat.
That looks, yeah, potentially dangerous. I would say so. Besides painful.
Yeah, no fun either.
No, absolutely not.
Great Bridge is on top. There is, I assume, the referee's position. That's the starting position. Called the referee's position. I don't know why they call it referees, but referees aren't in it. Referee starts you, I guess. Something. Gets down there and looks at you. There's a Turk. Now this has been their bread and butter all year, is the Turk, but they haven't been able to score real well with it here in the state tournament. They've had to go to a different method of putting the wrestlers on the back, and that's been that arm bar tilt where they block the toe and then scoop the bar. And as we saw in our move preview, which has been real helpful to you at home, we've got a lot of good comments on that. We appreciate everybody's help and interest in our wrestling telecast, and most of all, we love your comments. Call the station, tell them you like it, tell them you want to see more of it, and we're already building the foundation for next year and the rest of this season still.
Right. 1:42 to go in the second period, 4-3 in favor of Shannon Baines on a takedown and a reversal. But no points scored so far in the second period. At the end of this match, we're going to go talk to Mickey Irvin a little bit. We're going to let him, the district gymnastics took place this week over at Western Branch High School, so we're going to let him have a few words about that, find out what went on. We have some highlights.
Here's a little tilt again, and Great Bridge changed off to a headlock, and Agent Tubbs picked 2 and picking up his back points.
That'll make it 6-3 on the 2 reversal points for Baines.
He doesn't look good. He's got to kind of scoot up. Got to scoot up. He's got it.
He's got plenty of time, 56 seconds.
He's going to pin him. He'll pin him. Haven't had any falls yet. Now, to get away, he's got to push his hips away, use his hand to push his hips away, and he's got to come up to his knees. Stonewall Jackson wrestler is not in good shape. You can see the fall about to happen there. He's pinned. Oop, missed it.
34 seconds. 6-3 in favor of Baines.
See 2 referees. One's looking for the fall.
And that's it.
And there he sees it. The other referee was looking to keep it legal. That hurt him bad. That was one of their studs that got decked just did.
Sure was. He was 21-7. But Shannon Baines just got him on his back. But you know what you said? The way to beat a good wrestler is dependent.
No question about it. And that's exactly what he did. He just caught him. He was doing well in the match. He was doing real well in the match. He was winning the bout, and then he got caught on his back and got decked.
Okay. We won't talk to Mickey quite yet about the gymnastics. We'll let him talk to us a little while later. Right now on the mat, at 140, Nathan Hannum from Stonewall Jackson. He's 22-5-1. Got his hands full, though, with Mark Strickland, who's 28-1.
Right, and this is Strickland hasn't been beat all year. He beat himself once, but no one has beat him. He pinned himself. His only loss came to himself. So Strickland beat Strickland. There's a nice roll, hooks the arm. My team did that real well. Guy gets in and you just hook his elbow and sit. Strickland is
just full of energy.
Full of energy. Needs to settle down a little bit. There's that, got to kind of post him behind his knee. No score. A lot of action, but no score.
No score. 125 to go in the first period.
He's got that setting up. There it is. Little rolls his shoulder and gets in that step position. Strickland is cradle. The guy's got a cradle on him and scores 2. But he should have tried to stick with a cradle. Don't give him Strickland a chance. There's a high turn and rolls him. Takes him over. Oops.
Ooh.
He's giving Strickland all he can handle.
Sure is. This is probably the first time Strickland's wrestled anybody as closely matched with him in a while.
Right. Nathan Hannum, 22 and 5 coming into the match, but little switch there, scoot to the outside, and Strickland finally gets up on top and comes back a tad with the score is now 2-2.
All right, Nathan Hannum took him down. He was up 2-0 for a while, but Strickland's able to reverse him.
And there's there's more wrestling in this minute and 30 seconds than been in the last 3 matches.
With the 140-pound weight division, 145, we'll see Carlos Eason and Jeff Bradford.
Scooting out to the side, Nathan Hammond wasn't able to convert on that. Now there's Strickland. Watch him lift and try to Turk. He's got Terrell. He's got his wrist to his crotch. Watch his elbow. Oop. He's not going to roll him through. Watch him kind of do a little somersault under and roll him through.
5 seconds in the first period. We're almost out of here for this first period.
Right. Nathan Ham has wrestled a good. That was a good round. 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Still an even match. It's anybody's bout.
And Strickland will choose down where he likes to be. So we'll start the second period off with Mark Strickland on the bottom. Great Bridge is up 20-5, but there's no score yet in this particular. Actually, it's 2-2. On a reversal from Mark Strickland after a takedown by Hannum.
Change him over. That's called a changeover, where you put the guy on the other side of you and try to put him on an unfamiliar side. Strickland gets an escape, and now is back on their feet. Now the score is 3-2 in favor of Strickland from Great Bridge over Nathan Hammond from Stonewall, Jackson. I'd like to thank everyone in our viewing audience that's given us the support, you know, and just telling us what you think, because we've gotten great support. We've re-aired some of the matches just because of your interest. You know, I'm a bit partial. I think that these kids deserve. Oh, he's turned him right over with. He got that bar on him and steps over his head and turns and he's already picked up his back points. And Strickland's going to try to put him away. Oh, he's got him. He's got him in great shape. He's going to change it to a half. Got his shoulder. If he goes to his half, you'll see him probably convert to a cradle. He's slipping in. Watch him now turn it to a cradle.
He's up 5-2 with 52 seconds to go in the second period.
There it is. There it is. Now he's turning. You see that? Now watch him lock his hands. Yep, can do it. Change the back. Going to bring his knee under. Walk his arm out. Yep. Strickland's losing it there. Just going to keep. Guys are funny. Pinning a guy is like riding a skateboard. You just got to let them pin themselves. Just balance a little bit. They'll wiggle. He's pinned. He's going to get pinned. Great shot.
24 seconds.
Oh, Strickland's in great shape. He's going to bring his knee over. Oh, got him away.
That's 3 back points for Strickland.
Now Strickland's going to rock. Got a half on him. Going to rock him back and try to tilt him.
That makes it 8-2 with 7 seconds to go.
All right, see those underhooks? 2 underhooks. Watch Strickland kind of hoist in half. Oh.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that was a good second period for Mark Strickland. He scores an escape, then a takedown, and then 3 back points.
6 points he put together. 6 points, and now Hannum is down.
Tell you what, we're heading to the third and final period, and if Strickland doesn't pin him, he's certainly in a position to get some bonus points.
Yeah, he's got to score too. I don't be surprised if he cuts him loose, but Strickland's doing such a good job. He's strong in all areas. He doesn't have a particular area that he's stronger in than others. He's just good everywhere. He'll be well recruited when he gets out of school. He's just a junior, I believe, isn't he?
He's just a junior. Right.
Along with, I believe, 9 other juniors on this Great Bridge team. They're loaded for next year. The coaching staff thinks that probably the best team they ever had will be next year.
Wow.
I expect to see Great Bridge ranked in the top 3 in the nation next year. Got a crossface cradle. He's going to sit Strickland in full control, and I'm going to pin him right there. I don't think him getting him off his back. He's got him really in fine shape.
Plenty of time, minute 22 in the third period.
He's got a Turk, like a crossface Turk cradle combo right there. He's just, there it is. See it? Boom.
That's it.
It's over. I think the floodgate is open here. It's so early.
26 to 5.
26 to 5. I think we can well say that unless something drastically happens, and it could start. It could happen right here.
Here's Carlos Eason. He's 13-8 at 140. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's go to Nikki Irvin now, who has something to say about some gymnastics that took place this week. Nikki.
I'm here with the members of the Southeastern District champion Great Bridge Gymnastics teams, Carrie Sherman, Dusty Jones, and Michelle Whitehurst, all on that team. Let's go to the studio to Merlin Vaughn for the highlights from the tournament.
Thanks, Mickey. For the third straight year, the Lady Wildcats of Great Bridge won the Southeastern District Gymnastics Championship held Thursday at Western Branch. The Lady Cats were led by sophomore Amy Dustin, who took the all-around title for the second year in a row. Dustin also added first-place finishes on the balance beam, in the floor exercise, and the vault. Great Bridge also received solid performances from junior Carrie Sherman, who finished second in the all-around, balance beam, and floor exercises, and from senior Megan Kitts, who finished third in the all-around, second in the vault, and fourth in the uneven bars and floor. These young ladies helped their team score 101.7 points. The runner-up in the 4-team event was Western Branch, followed by Deep Creek and Churchland. The Lady Bruins were led by senior co-captain Amy Gilchrist. Gilchrist earned a first on the uneven bars and a fourth in the all-around. The top 4 all-around finishers and the top 8 finishers in each event advanced to this week's regional meet to be held at First Colonial High School in Virginia Beach. Be sure to support these gymnasts, and we will hope to have highlights for you in the upcoming weeks. Now back to Richie Babb and Frank Lapoli in Richmond at the state dual team wrestling meet.
Thank you very much, Merlin. Here we are back with a minute 12 to go. We're into the 145-pound weight division match. Minute 8 to go, and no score so far between Carlos Eason of Great Bridge and Jeff Bradford, who's 7-2 from Stonewall Jackson.
Yes, they moved Carlos down, but last time they had Carlos up at, I believe he was up at 160, wasn't he, one time against Mark Blade, and Blade did pin. Was that against, yeah. Did pin Carlos.
49 seconds to go in the first period, still no score.
They're going to probably stalemate him there. Stalemate is when no wrestler can better himself.
Okay, they're going to give 1 point to Carlos Eason for an illegal hold.
Well, that's because he scissored his head. You have to have you can only figure 4 the head. That's right at the behind the knee, and he had a cross and scissored it, and so that's an illegal move, and that's a gives you 1 point. You can have most illegal moves are worth 1 point, unless they accumulate, and then they could be worth 2.
30 seconds to go in the first period. The only point scored so far, we just saw it on an illegal hold. It's 26-5 is the team score you see there on the
Great Bridge is well on their way winning their second dual meet state championship. And they're going to be really hard. If they're going to get beat, it's going to be this year. I don't think anybody's going to come close to them next year. They've got a chance at breaking the state record for most consecutive wins next year. Carlos Eason, at the end of the second period, leads 3-0. Eason's in the down position. We know that's where Great Bridge's strength lies, on bottom. Watch him and you see the Stonewall Jackson wrestler. He's not going to mess with him on bottom. Pushes him away, gives him his point. Let's wrestle on our feet, he says. And that's called a freestyle start. You just push him away.
All right, 146 to go in the second period. It's 4-0.
There's that shrug. That's that sweep. They pull the elbow and do the sweep. that we show you on that tape, that and there's a blocking it and blocking the toe. Blocking the toe, see if he can get that up and then try to get that arm bar in there.
6-0 in favor of Carlos Eason.
There, let's see if there it is. They block the toe and then put the arm bar in. So he keeps going back to it.
At the end of this match, we're going to talk to Mickey Irving for a few minutes. Mickey's got some information for us on Mark Braid at 160 for Stonewall Jackson. Mickey's going to give us some information at the end of this match. This is 145. We'll see him in a couple matches at 160. 26-5 in favor of the Wildcats right now here in this state dual tournament.
Carlos Eason off to a 6-0 lead in the second period. We'd like to thank everyone for their support. Atlantic Auto Actions out of Lance Road in Norfolk.
And also, of course, we'd like to thank Irving Landscaping for their help. Irving Landscaping located in Chesapeake. Chesapeake Bay Corporation. They're very helpful. They said, you know, whatever you need. So I'm sure we'll be talking to them again. We appreciate their help. As you mentioned, Atlantic Auto Auction and Nels Ridge Car Wash out on Battlefield Boulevard, just past Chesapeake General. If you're going outside of Great Bridge, heading out towards the interstate. 45 seconds to go in the second period now. Carlos Eason up 6-0 still. After a couple of takedowns, a penalty point, escape point.
Eason in full control, which has been the tone. Look at the intensity on this guy's face. That's that inside stand-up. See, he's trying to get back to his feet.
Bradford not having much success getting up. Okay, got a warning on Carlos Eason.
Jeff Bradford, he came into the tournament with a 7-2 record.
33 seconds to go in the second period.
You saw that warning stall. They gotta convert. You just can't coast on your lead. They got that cross wrist now, trying to get it through his crotch and get him a position where he can tie all of it together. Now you see, Eason is that lanky style of wrestler where Glover is a real muscled up guy, and like I've said, I feel it's those muscles are good, but muscled up guys that are real cut build are a little bit rigid, are a little easy to turn.
We're going to start the third period here now. Carlos Eason still up 6-0, and he has 2 more minutes to do his thing. And the wrestlers will start neutral.
Right, it was Glover's choice, and he picked neutral because he definitely don't want to get down on the mat, or nothing's been working for him. But he's got to score big. He's got to like get a takedown and put him right on his back, and he just can't do anything with Eason. Eason is keeping him on a mat, but he can pretty well do anything he wants with him.
2 more points there for Eason on the takedown, and that'll make the score 8-0. Put Great Bridge in a bonus point situation.
Right. Well, we're going to see Steven cut him loose. Watch him. Well, they're going to just play takedown game. Watch this. Cut him right loose, take him down. They'll try to get that 15-point range, and then they'll try to pin him after they've assured they've got their 5 points.
There's Jeff Bradford, point for him. The first points for him for this match against Great Bridge, and he gets that on an escape. There's 2 more takedown points for
Cut
Eason.
it through.
Exactly what you thought.
Another takedown knee pick, and I think they're going to. We're going to see if he can score. If he can't score, they'll cut him loose. He needs to cut him loose.
4 takedowns so far for Carlos Eason.
Right. See if he can get anything there. We're going to try to turn him. He's got in a good position right now to turn him. Got to lift his knee up in the back. Can't do it. And then pull his elbow down. Can't get that pressure. They need to cut him loose. Can't turn him, they need to cut him loose, and they don't seem. Now watch, see if they can.
Oh, there's 1 point awarded to Bradford on a stall from Carlos Eason. He had been warned once before, so this time the referee penalizes him with 1 point.
Now, what an idiot. That is the worst call I've seen. The guy on bottom's not doing anything. The guy on top is trying to turn him, and they called the guy on top.
Well, there's an escape point for Bradford.
Terrible
He's
call.
gotten his points, 2 points for stall, 1 point for a stall on his opponent Carlos Eason, and 2 escape points. So it's 10-3. Great Bridge needs 1 more point to get in a bonus point situation. 20 seconds to go in the 3rd period.
All right, well, Easton's got a score right here. I think he can, just got to get a little motion going here. Bradford hasn't been able to do anything, and it just completely cut off.
Now there's a warning against the red team for stalling.
It's only fair. The guy hasn't done anything. He looks good, but he doesn't do anything. Now there's Easton. He should score that pretty easy. Just got to, took him the wrong way. You always take him to the side that he's on. You don't take him to the side that your head is on. And he took him the wrong way that time.
Tell you what, we're looking forward to seeing Mark Braid, who's 29-0 in the 160-pound weight division from Stonewall Jackson. And now let's go over to Mickey Irving, and he'll tell us something about Mark. Mickey?
10-3.
Well, apparently Mickey's talking, but we're not hearing him.
Mark Braid's the man to watch at 160 for Stonewall Jackson, 29-0 on the year. This guy was voted most outstanding wrestler at the Holiday Christmas Classic. Frank, keep a close eye on this guy. He's a guy you're going to love to watch.
Well,
he's also 2nd in the state of Virginia, and he's got the neatest tattoo on his arm. I just wonder if it was one of them stick-on kind, you know. A lot of tattoos on Stonewall Jackson.
and we'll see him not now, but in a later match. Right now on the mat at 152, we see Jamie Kelly of Great Bridge, 22-4, and Taurus Glover is the wrestler from Stonewall Jackson. He's 6-2-1. And the team score now 29-5 in favor of the Wildcats.
Great Bridge will win. I'm calling it early by a lot of points. The 1992 state championship, unless somebody hijacks the Great Bridge team in the upper weights.
You know, Great Bridge pretty much had their way last year with the Robinson Rams from Northern Virginia.
Right, and Great Bridge gets on the scoreboard with a dump, a little outside dump, and puts the guy right on his back. Stonewall Jackson wrestler right on his back, and picks up some 3 back points. Score should be 5-0 in favor of
Jamie Kelly.
Jamie Kelly.
Great Bridge. And he's 22-4, much more experienced this season than Taurus Glover, who's only had 9 matches. He's 6-2-1. 1 minute to go in the first period. Jamie Kelly already up 5-0, and now he's trying to take Taurus Glover to the mat again, but they go out of bounds. And they'll come back to the mat. Taurus Glover seems to maybe have an injured left arm.
Well,
because he seems to favor it a little bit, and he
does. He does seem to favor it, but he's a young. Coach Cameron said his team has done great this year, but they're fairly young with what's going on. They've still got a young team, and they'll have a lot of guys back next year.
He does get a point though, does Taurus Glover, here in the second period. Now it's 5-1. 27 seconds to go. Jamie Kelly up by 4.
There's Kelly trying that outside sweep that we showed you in the introduction of the moves to look for. Kelly is pretty well having his way. He's having his way with Glover.
And again, I'd hate to not have much experience, to have just wrestled 9 matches this season, have to come in against Jamie Kelly, who's wrestled 26 matches and won 22 of them. That's the end of the first period. It's 5-1 still in favor of Jamie Kelly.
The match here, we've had a lot of exciting matches and a lot of exciting settings. We're in Richmond at Douglas Freeman High School. Actually, you know, we're obviously on neutral grounds for both teams. It's not conducive to a real wang-up, bang-up matches like we've seen at home that we're accustomed to. So, hey, as this match airs, bring the neighbors over, see, put them around the television, see, and then scream and holler, get the cheerleaders, get the popcorn, throw it all around, and make it exciting in your own living room.
There's another escape point for Taurus Glover here in the second period. That'll make the score 5-2, and hey, this is just a 3-point match. 1:38 to go. Still 5-2. And Kelly working Glover, trying to get him over on his back, but they'll go out of bounds before he can do any damage. He will get the takedown points, though, and it's 7-2 in favor of Jamie Kelly. And that'll give him a little bit more of a leeway. It goes from a 5-point lead now for him to from a 3-point lead to a 5-point lead.
The question here is not will Great Bridge win the state championship. The question is how much.
How much? By how much they'll win.
They'll win, right. And really, the Great Bridge coaching staff is, I think they're more concerned about, this is more of a tune-up to, it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to win this thing at this point. I mean, they're just on a roll. Stonewall Jackson is unable to mount any real attack. Their best guys have already been whooped.
Except for Mark Braid.
Except for Mark Braid. They've got their best guys still lying ahead, but Mark Braid can't wrestle all 13 matches.
No, that's right. But they still do have one good wrestler to go. And not that these guys aren't good, but they still have one real strong wrestler to go.
Right, their firepower. I don't think they have enough firepower left to pull this thing out unless something drastically happens and they score some big-time pins.
43 seconds to go in the second period, 7-3, favor Jamie Kelly. We're already up to the 152-pound weight division. We only have 4 more matches to go.
Oh, nice, pretty dump. And Glover is in a lot of trouble.
That's the third takedown Kelly's been able to score in this match. That'll make it 9-3.
Got a good angle of the fall. I think he's going to pack him here. 19 seconds to go. Might run out of time. Might just run out of time. If you watch his toes, you can kind of tell when he's being pinned. Kind of funny, but watch his toes go up in the air, he's pinned. Because you kind of like leverage.
2, 1.
Oh,
and he doesn't get the pin, awfully close.
Toes
He will get 3 back points. So that's 6 back points he's been able to score along with 3 takedowns.
Here's a booze in the background. I wonder who. You can tell it's a Great Bridge has their people up here.
Yeah, it's only a couple hours to get here, hour and a half, 2 hours.
There's a
shot of Mark Braid with his tattoo.
Yeah, they got a bunch of them. They got them on their ankles or knees or their elbows or.
What does it say on his thing? On his headgear? He's got something on his headgear.
He got a tattoo on his headgear. I'm the best.
I bet that one didn't hurt. Is that what it says?
No, apparently he's right.
Yeah,
nobody's beat him this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we're in the third period. 2 minutes to go. 12-3. Look for a technical fall here. And this is smart. The guy's losing 12-3. He's going to cut him loose.
Well,
probably not a bad decision because he would have got rolled. And there's that outside sweep. See that?
Mm-hmm. That'll make it 13-3. 13-3. That's 10 points. A 10-point lead for Jamie Kelly.
These wrestling matches at home that we're giving to you, these are a great learning tool. I know I've had the pleasure of talking to a lot of you. I've known you for years out there that have been following wrestling. And I tell you what, the tapes I got, my son at home, we go over the moves. It's great. You can play it back. The camera angles are great. So if you can tape this stuff and use it as a teaching tool for your kids to show how these guys put these moves together. There's another 2. There's a snap down, front headlock, and he's going to try to run. He's going to go ahead and try a technical fall him here.
I wonder what the
technical fall is, that you're beating the guy by 15 points or more, and getting that bonus point situation. There's a short drag. See how he changed it? Changed hand. It's a real clinic being put on here.
There's 2 more points for Kelly. That's 17-4.
17-4. And I think that's what we're getting in this particular telecast. We've had some real exciting matches, but what we're getting in this telecast is a real clinic, a real teaching tool for the little guys at home, and just an appreciation of fine wrestling. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening here in the state championship finals. A great place to put on a clinic.
Oh, sure. 29-5 is the team score right now in favor of the Wildcats. 47 seconds to go in this match.
We feel as though the real state championship was in the semifinals with Great Bridge. There's a quick 2.
There are 2 more. I wonder what the biggest number of takedowns in a match have ever been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jamie Keller's got 6.
Well, you can only get a certain number, and the match is over.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And we're still trying
So
to
I guess
teach,
the most you can get
still
is
trying to
7.
teach Richie here a little bit here.
Well, I understand that my math's just not real good.
There you go, and they cut him loose, and let's see what kind of takedown he said. What do you think he's going to do? We'll get the referee out of the way there. So he got him blocked, and he tried to do the sweep, and he'll pop his head, try to front headlock him. Yep, see that? Front headlock him, snapped him down. Snapped him down. He's trying to run around. See that? There's that outside sweep, and then he changed it back to the other side to duck under him, try to finish it with a duck under. Oh, there's a Turk, and now he's going to try to cradle him right there and end it right there. So that's exactly how he gets this. If he doesn't pin
6
him,
seconds.
it's over, right?
Right.
That's right.
Because if he gets 3
over.
back points,
It's
it's over.
So that's exactly how you want to do it. 1 second to go, he gets his technical fall. See,
And
so
that's worth 5 team points.
so, you know, each wrestler is getting ready to go beyond this day, this final day of the dual meet season, and get prepared for the individual championship. So that's what the Great Bridge guys, the coaching staff, is doing. They're just not trying to satisfy with a plain win. They want to get their guys ready. And on the mat now, Mark Blade, second in the state last year at 152. He's 29, 31-0 on the mat right now.
And he's against Dentron Easton, who's 23-2.
Right. And he
He's the
pinned,
160-pound weight division. But I tell you what.
he pinned Easton last time they wrestled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. At
Deep Creek.
Deep Creek, right?
And you were right. It does say the best on his headgear.
Right. 34-5. This thing's over with. Congratulations to Great Bridge, but also congratulations is due to the parents of these wrestlers that have to put up with the weight loss,
the special diet,
the special diets, the crabbiness that goes along with winning. But I tell you what, it's all worthwhile because hey, if you're going to win, if you're going to play to be the best. And Great Bridge is by far has proven that their superior strength in the dual meet. 1992 are the champions of the dual meet season, AAA state champions. Great Bridge,
5th ranked in the nation,
number 5 in the nation. Don't be surprised if their ranking goes up higher in the top 3 and this year and next year. I expect them to be right up there. As high school director of the Virginia Duels, I make this promise to you right now to try to pull in a team ranked close to Great Bridge so we can see them really shine next year in the Virginia Duels.
Well, that would be quite exciting. 51 seconds to go. It's 2-1. Dentron Easton scored a point on the escape, so Mark Braid only up by 1 point now, 2-1. And the first period is reaching its conclusion, 40 seconds.
Yeah, their Blade just got that just basic power. You know, just not real fancy, just real sound. And it's got that red hair. See, I've always thought red-haired guys, man, I always had to think about redhead guys are stronger or have that
intensity.
Yep, they got it. It's just that I think it sounds silly, but they got something in their fibers.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I think it's redhead guys are always stronger look. You know, just they're always stronger looking than they are.
Another interesting wrestling theory.
I don't know how scientific it is, but Billy Guttermouth told me once. The great high school coach at Cox High School took him to a number of state championships. He always thought redhead guys were stronger.
It's 4-1. 4-1 in favor of Braid now after another takedown.
But Dentron Easton is definitely giving no quarter.
That'll be 1 point for Dentron Easton on the escape.
And you can see the assistant referee overruled him because he never really got away. Never got away. Good. That was a good call by the assistant referee.
That's what he's there for.
That's right, to assist the referee. He never really got away from him is what happened there.
2 minutes to go now in the second period as we just get started in the second period. Braid still up 4-1. almost cut that lead in half, but as you said, the assistant referee overruled the escape point.
He got changed into a cradle. Oh, and he stepped right into a Turk.
Ooh,
that's just where he wants to be.
That's 2 reversal points for Dentron Easton. Now it's 4-3.
Right.
In Braid's favor.
Yeah, but see, they need a big win here. I mean, they need Braid to come up with a pin. They had locked hands.
Some of the Great Bridge fans are yelling for the point. They want the point up on the scoreboard. They don't understand that there is no point now that he was overruled.
Great Bridge is a real vocal fan in the front row. He doesn't miss a trick.
No, he doesn't miss many wrestling matches either.
No.
Minute 15 to go down the second period. Still 4-3 in favor of Braid. Of Stonewall Jackson. I tell you what, this is the first time he's been in this position probably in a while. He is 29-0. Of course, he's still ahead as far as the points are concerned. 59, 58 seconds now in the second period. .58 seconds. Dentron Easton will start on top here to begin really the second half of the second period. He's down by 1 point. He needs to turn Braid, try to get some back points. Oh, but Braid reverses on him, and Braid will get the 2 points on that reversal. That'll make the score 6-3, and now he's going for the pin of Dentron Easton.
Yeah, he's pinned him once, and he's in great position. 36 seconds to go. They need, Stonewall Jackson would add, oh, and Easton comes off his back, and he's in a real good position. If he can come up, that's great. And he rolls him. Oh! It was in a position. Dentron Easton gives no quarter. Great. Good exchange there. Comes off his back. Was going to look like he was always going to get pinned. The referee's coming up to us, see what he can say. The score's right.
He's checking the score because it was fairly quick. Braid scored 3 back points, and then Dentron Easton got 2 points for the reversal, so it's 9-5 in Braid's favor. He allows Braid to turn around. Now Braid trying to get his knee and his hips up on top of Easton's. And that'll be 2 reversal points for Braid as he does exactly what he wanted to do.
Second period. Third period, in the third period, 11-5. Favor of Mark Braid over Dentron Easton. It's a good bout. Good bout.
Oh, yeah. Dentron Easton scored his 5 points on 2 reversals and an escape. Mark Braid, 2 takedowns in the first period, and then 2 reversals and 3 back points in the second period. .136 to go. 11-5 in favor of Mark Braid. .116 to go. It's 13-5 now. And Dentron Easton looks like he may be in a little trouble, Frank.
Oh, no question. No question about it at all. He's got him blocked off. And but Dentron was in this position just a second ago and came right out of it. Uh-oh, Mark Braid's got him tight. He's just a manhandler. That's exactly what he is.
53 seconds to go, and he gets a pin. That's a pin from Mark Braid, and that'll add 6 points. I tell you what, it's been a long time since Stonewall Jackson has felt the benefit of any points, and that's going to make the score 34-11 in favor of Great Bridge.
His second pin over Dentron Easton, but again, I think it's a little too late.
That's a classy move on Braid's part to walk over and shake Stevie Martin's hand.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Now out on the mat at 189, or rather 171, we see David Smith, who is 21-4, against Mike Wilborn, who's 23-4. Trying to get the clock straightened out so we can get things started. David Hall pacing a little bit. All right, let's throw to Mickey Irvin now, who's over on the other side of the gym. Mickey?
Even though Great Bridge lost the last match, some of the faithful making the trip down from Richmond here tonight. With the big lead, you guys are still on them pretty hard out here. One more point, son.
We want to win, win, win every match.
Great Bridge well under their way to another state championship here in Richmond tonight, and the fans are out here supporting them as they always do. Back to you guys.
Okay. All right, thanks, Mickey. They kept telling me go to Mickey, and I didn't see him. I couldn't find him over there. He was hiding. 1:41 to go in the first period. No points scored yet, and there are the 2 points for David Smith on the takedown. 34-11, the team scored 2-0 now in favor of David Smith. This should be a pretty good match. David Smith 21-4, Mike Wilborn 23-4, both with 4 losses.
It should be. They both look about even in size, height, strength.
Of course, the difference is it easier to get 23 wins in Stonewall Jackson's division than to get 21 in the Southeastern District, maybe?
I think it's relative.
Really?
I think it's relative. No question about the intensity level's tougher, we think, in the region. Yeah, but I think it's all relative. He cut his, and what we're getting from Mickey is that there was a little cut lip there. You know, Ricky's our investigative reporter.
Yeah, that's right. He's always on.
He'll run down any nosebleed. He don't care how far.
That's right. That's right. Minute 19. David Smith up 2-0. And I'm going to try not to call him David Hall. I always do.
Yep.
And I don't know why I taught both of these kids. I should know one from the other.
That one's got blonde hair. That's easy.
Yeah, I know. I know.
David Hall's coming up wrestling fairly
You can
soon.
see now. You can't see on your screen there, but you can. There's definitely, you can tell from the table where we're sitting that his nose is bleeding.
Immediately after this match, we're going to have a very special feature on David Hall getting ready to wrestle his final dual meet of his high school career. He's a senior. He's one of the few guys that has made the team. Started for Great Bridge for 4 years in a row. But we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
David Smith here trying to do something with Mike Wilborn. 58 seconds to go in the first period. Tell you what, Wilborn's, he gets an escape point right there. That's 1 for Wilborn, and that'll make the score 2-1 in David Smith's favor.
Smith are trying to set up. Both wrestlers are trying to do the same move. They're doing that grab the elbow, right elbow, outside sweep, come off the elbow, scoop to single leg. So they're both trying to score the same thing. It's just who's getting the right down. Now, here's Great Bridge. Now they'll convert it by rolling you. See that? You'll kind of like what they call butt dragger. Get behind the guy, and they'll let you think you've got the takedown where you're scooting behind them. There's a perfect example of it right now. And then they'll go ahead and roll you to your back. So you think you're getting a takedown. They end up with the takedown and back points. They didn't get it in that particular situation, but they have been getting it all night. There's a one-on-one and just a basic old half Nelson. You can't get any more basic than that. That's the first thing you show those little guys, is just a half Nelson and running around as far as you can. We've got a little blood out there.
Yeah, we're going to have to clean up. Got the water bottle out there.
The water bottle's out there. And you see the referee, they have a water solution now. It's a special bleach solution to spray the mats and to clean the mats off because of the attitude nowadays of the 90s about blood, you know?
Right, yeah. And the other thing, of course, blood stains, and these mats are fairly expensive.
Oh, just throw them in a washing machine. You know, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, right. 2 minutes to go now. We're going to start the second period. David Smith is up 3-1. Okay, so now we have news that his head and his mouth are bleeding. David Smith actually is down 3-2. Mike Wilborn had a takedown and an escape. David Smith only a takedown, so that makes it 3-2. David Hall back pacing the bench back there. We'll talk to him in a few minutes. Frank had an opportunity to talk to David Hall. We'll show that right before his match at 189, which is coming up next. But right now, David Smith has his hands full in the second period, down by 1. to Mike Wilborn.
He's got that ankle. He's trying to just work him over to tilt him, but he's really not a lot going on here. There, if you can, like I said, watch this
I'm
wrist.
surprised.
He's trying to get it through his crotch, but it's not. He's just spreading it out. Great Bridge is spreading out. Doesn't have it. There you go. Now he's got it through there now. He's going to try to work up and half him and change it over. See if he's. They haven't been turking at all. I haven't seen Stonewall Jackson doing any turk.
37 seconds to go.
I'd like to take this time to quickly mention that we are the wonderful sponsors we've had to make this telecast possible at Atlantic Auctions on Lance Road in Norfolk, auto auctions. On every Friday and Saturday, they alternate. Just give them a call and check them out. Please support our sponsors that have helped us. And we've had some other great sponsors.
We sure have. Irving Landscaping. They do commercial, and they also do some residential landscaping. They do yard and lawn service. They have a lawn service division, and they also have another division where they do new construction and some grading and things like that. Chesapeake Bay Corporation, we appreciate their help. They're located out on Cedar Road. And then, of course, Nels Ridge Car Wash out on Battlefield Boulevard in the Great Bridge area. 2 minutes to go in the third period, 3-2, and Wilborn still in the lead. No points have been scored. No points were scored at all in the second period. David Smith had a takedown in the first period. Mike Wilborn had a takedown and an escape in the first period. Also, no scoring in the second period.
There's a great shot there. See how he's got his knee pinched right in there? He's got a lot of pressure on top of him. And he's, he just can't get the guy. He's kind of like a blanket ride is what they call it. The guy's smothered. He can't really move at all.
Minute and a half to go, and some more points have been put on the board with an escape by Mike Wilborn. So that'll be 4-2 in his favor. Boy, this has been a tight match.
Right, it has been. There's the front headlock. See, he's pushing his head down. He's trying to run around. He's going to try to pick up a cradle. Yep, didn't get anything. There it is. Stepped in deep. Now he's running. Now watch him. Oh, he's blocking that knee on the outside. And that was a good call by the referees to be sure that nobody gets hurt.
Well, the third period's almost halfway over. Minute 10 left.
Got that sweep again. Single with that sweep to the outside. Get that angle. Nope, no points. Clock still running. 50 seconds, 4-2. Running his hip to hip. See that? He's got to keep it legal, though. Got his wrist. He's got a limp. He scored it.
So that's 2 takedown points for Wilborn.
6-2. Wilborn's putting some things together here. 29 seconds to go. This is where Great Bridge is the most dangerous. Late in the match and when they're on bottom, and that's exactly what we've got here. 20 seconds, so under 20 seconds to go. Third period. Enough time to win and pull it out. Not enough time for the other guy to come back.
8 seconds, he's in a little trouble.
I think it's a little too late here. Stonewall Jackson puts up more points on the scoreboard.
And they sure do. And that 6-2 win by Mike Wilborn will give Stonewall Jackson 3 more points, and that'll make it 34 to 14.
Now
20-point lead for Great Bridge.
Here's David Hall on the mat. I had a chance to talk with the Great Bridge senior, before the match started, right after the big semifinal win, and this is what he had to say. When you've got a successful team, you obviously have successful performers. David Hall has been one of the few guys that has started for the Great Bridge team for 4 years. You've taken your lumps early.
Real early. My first year, I had a pretty bad record. I was 17 and 14. So, and towards the end of the years, had some hard times, wrestling some really tough guys. But I mean, as a freshman, I was pleased. I got third in the district, and I made a region, and that's what I wanted to do.
Well, David's come a long way from then. David's won over 106 matches in his career. Last year, he was second in the state. What I look for, what I've noticed is, in the last 2 weeks, there's been Great Bridge has been in some nip and tuck matches. Then you get up to 189. When you go out on a MAC, you don't seem as intense outwardly. You seem very calm, very professional, and you seem like you're going out to work. Do you feel as though your approach to the match is more technical rather than, you know, psych?
No, I get psyched in my own way. As you can see if you ever watch, I pretty much like to pound on myself before my match. But no, I don't really scream. I scream a lot, you know, but not too much, because if I do, I'll get tired, and that wears me down. And then by the time I warm up, I'll be even more tired. So when I got on the mat, I'll be halfway exhausted by second period. So
well,
I try to keep to myself, but you know, I root for the guys, but I don't really get too tired, because since we have such a long wait, it drains us, and upper weights, it'll drain you.
I see you talking to your teammates a lot during the course of the match. Do you feel as though you're the elder statesman on the team and you're helping put the match into perspective?
Well, not really. I mean, we have a lot of guys on the team. I mean, a lot of guys that they look up to. I mean, Mark, they look up to Mark, they look up to me, and then we had the 3 seniors, me, Dave, and Dentron. And as you can see, they've both been working real hard, and they listen to us. And everyone pretty much, I mean, we listen to coach, but we take each other's advice. I mean, all advice we can get is good, so.
Well, the Great Bridge as a team has one dual meet away from the ultimate goal, winning the state dual championships, and you are a few matches away from achieving both things. The state championship dual meet is part of the team thing, and then going on for David Hall for the state championship. What do you feel you have to do to make this dream season come true?
Well, right now I'm just going to worry about this next match, but when the time comes, when districts and regionals and state comes up, I'm going to take each match one at a time and work my hardest, and hopefully the title will come, and I just have to wrestle my best.
David's being recruited nationally, and it just goes to show you that if you stick with something long enough and you take your lumps, you're going to be successful. Great Bridge can't lose with a wrestler like David Hall with a heart as big as he's got. He's a fine young man, David Hall. I think you're going to see him continue to do well in high school, in college wrestling, as his career continues. He's one of those guys that's like an amoeba. He just continues to learn, and when he gets to college, I think it's basically the process will start all over again. He'll go through his learning period, his apprentice. He'll take his knocks. I don't think he's going to be a world beater when he first gets into college, but before it's all over with, he will have had a great college career, and will have really made his mark in the fine tradition of the Great Bridge wrestlers before him that have gone on to wrestle well in college. The question is where will he go to school? North Carolina is talked about, Virginia, virtually everybody in the country is looking at him. He has one of the best win records and of his weight division in the country. So everybody's looking after David Hall. And as you see, I mentioned that he keeps this poise. And this isn't because this match seems to be not as much luster as the prior ones, but he has been able to keep up his coolness and calmness throughout the season. He's a real technician for a big guy. Most big guys are kind of bangers. And David right now is in against Chris Wilhelm with a 3-7. There's a pancake right there. He stepped right into that. And I think you'll see this end right here. He'll pin him, and David Hall I'm sorry, that's Nathan. How do you say that?
Nathan Frampton.
Nathan Frampton with a 19-8-1 record, and he's going to pin him right here.
He's only got 6 seconds.
It only takes 2.
Yeah. Oh, and he does it right at the buzzer. That's a pin in the first period, right at the end of the first period for David Hall. That's going to make it 40-14 going into the heavyweight division.
Kind of fitting that David Hall, his last match is part of the team part of the championship. He goes out with a pin.
All right, let's go to Mickey Irvin right quick with Bob Robinson, the principal of Great Bridge.
I'm here with Principal Bob Robinson of Great Bridge High School. Coach, you're making a long trip up here today. A big success for Great Bridge. You think it's going to be this easy?
Well, you know, it's not only a big success for Great Bridge, but it's a big success for the Virginia High School League and all the things that they do. There were 8 great teams that came up here representing their regions this weekend, and there have been some great matches to watch.
I looked up here a couple of times. I thought I saw the coach of you coming out a little bit. Are you trying to hold that back here today?
Well, you know, I don't know a whole lot about this sport. I coached football for a while, but I don't know this, and I just come to support the team.
So he backs out of that question pretty easily. Back to you guys at the table.
Thanks a lot, Mickey. Minute 30 to go. No points have been scored yet. And there's a big sign up there. We hope we can get up. Oh, no, they're folding it up. There's a big sign up there that says...
The dumpster.
That's right.
And the dumpster's out on the mat right now.
That's right. Against Aaron Syme, who's 8 and 14. But he showed pretty effectively against...
There it is, the dumpster. Wildcats are #1, and undoubtedly the Wildcats are the best dual meet team in the state of Virginia, finishing this year with a 22-0 record. The dumpster, Jason Edmondson, is on the mat, and he had a battle on his hand in the semifinals.
Sure did. This the West Springfield team wrestled Stonewall Jackson in the semifinals. And Aaron Syme here, even though he's 8 and 14, really 9 and 14 now, he did have quite. No, Stonewall Jackson. I'm talking about the guy from Stonewall Jackson. They wrestled. And I keep forgetting the name of the team. They wrestled West Springfield.
Right.
And Aaron Syme, I said he's 8, 9, and 14, but he had a pretty good showing against the guy from that team.
Well, he did, but the dumpster, I think, is much more technically sound here.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't see the dumpster being run off the road here at all.
Nah. Tell you what, 14 seconds to go in the first period, no score yet.
And the victory is well in hand for Great Bridge High School. They are the champions, no question about it. Great Bridge finishing the season with
22 wins.
Oh, 22 wins. 22 wins, and I've lost track of how many they've won in a row, but
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
2 minutes to go now in the second period. Actually, why did I say that? The second period is just starting. Of course, it's only 2 minutes left. And Emerson starts out on the bottom. He should be able to score a point or two from there. At least be able to escape, and that's what he's trying to do here against Syme. And indeed he does. That's an escape point for Jason Edmondson, the dumpster.
That dumpster. And this sets the stage. Now everything turns to the individual championships. The district championships start this week.
Yeah, this week.
For everyone.
Thursday,
Friday, and Saturday at Great Bridge High School, the Southeastern District Tournament. The Beach District, I believe, is going to be Friday and Saturday, and the Eastern District is also next weekend. And then after that, it's the regional tournament, which is always at Green Run High School, followed by the state tournament, which happens to be up here at Arthur Ashe Center in Richmond. And we hope to bring you at least a couple of those tournaments right on down to the crowning of the AAA state individual champion. And you got to look at Great Bridge again to be a front runner in that.
Oh yeah. Well, Frank, you know, I know that I know that you're not aware of this, but there are some other sports.
What other sports?
Besides wrestling. I hate to tell you, don't get upset.
The only reason they have those other sports is so that the wrestlers can rest before they wrestle again.
Oh, listen at that. Well, we will be covering some basketball, though, and we hope you'll stay here on ACC 40 to see some of that. In fact, we're going to see, as a matter of fact, Mickey Urban's with us. And, Mickey, what can we expect to see?
Frank, I'll tell you what, I'll shoot you free throws if you'll wrestle with me. What do you think? We'll have a contest.
No problem.
Hey, I want to see this.
Hey, I'll take that on. Bring the cameras.
Well, it's a tag team. It's me and Richie.
Hey, you don't know.
I can't do either.
There's Jason Edmondson got a rushing on him. Let's get back to this guy right here, the dumpsters. And a nice trip, but he gets, see that? There's a classic. See, his toes are in bounds, his knees are in bounds. And yes, that's a 2-point takedown for the dumpster. Only problem I have with basketball is wrestlers weigh the same thing. But basketball guys, you got real tall guys and real short guys, right? they should have 2 baskets, one for the short guy, one for the tall guy, and they should raise the baskets for the tall guy.
There's an escape point for Aaron Syme of Stonewall Jackson. That's the first points he scored against Edmondson. And it's 3-1.
Well, the Dumpster is wrestling a more technical match. This is the first time in the last couple of weeks we haven't seen that the match rests squarely on the Dumpster's shoulder. So he can kind of go out there and show his stuff. He's got a nice Russian. That's a Russian tie. We have 2 arms on 1.
That's the end of the second period.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
How about the Dumpsters fan club up there in the upper deck?
We got a shot of their sign a little earlier, I tell you what, and we like to think that that we had something to do with that. Of course, he was called the Dumpster a long time before we started saying it, but now I think the media attention has gotten to him.
While I was in the stands earlier than
There it is, the Dumpster.
The people really like it.
Got his own fan club, the Dumpster.
People like it when Frank really gives it the Dumpster voice.
The Dumpster!
There it is.
There it is. He was trying to get the leg there of Aaron Syme, but Syme kept it out of his way.
The Dumpster's got a nickname. I was over on the bench in the semifinals, and Coach Martin, there's going in for a front headlock, and he was going down some specific things, but that Centerville was doing, and he said, "You got that? You got that?" Says, "Did you hear me dump?"
Yeah,
the dump. Hey, did you hear you dump? He said, he called him the dump.
That's right,
I
dump.
said, the dump. I said, yeah, I guess the dump is his first name, and Stir
is his last name. I think that's a German
I call
name,
him
isn't it?
Mr. Dumpster.
That's right.
Mr. Dumpster. He's done a wonderful job.
Minute 10 to go now in the third period. Hey, it's over. It's just about over. It's just about over, folks. 59 seconds to go. The Dumpster up 3-2.
I'm gonna get out here and try to get a word with Coach Martin and the state championship team when it's all over with, and we'll wait till they get their actual trophy before I talk to them this year. And I think it's a good way to end our telecast by having the trophy presented, and as we roll the credits, you'll see the Great Bridge kids in all their glory, and our hats are off to them and the pride of the community and the whole region. The Eastern region is saluting the Great Bridge Wildcats for a job well done. Oh, the Dumpster is going for the big fall. Looks like he's dropping the load.
9 seconds. 9 seconds to go. 7-6. Now it looks like he's going to get a pin, but he will get some back points.
Definitely, and Jason Edmondson, the Dumpster.
Tell you what.
There it is. State champs, Great Bridge.
Well, that puts them 10-3, gives them bonus points. So the final score here is 44-14, almost a copy of what they won by yesterday, 39-10, about the same margin. And now the Virginia High School League officials and the athletic director here, Douglas Freeman, will take the table out onto the mat. There we see Jason Edmondson on TV putting his Wildcat shirt on, being congratulated by Wayne Martin. And these guys deserve a handshake, both of these teams. They fought very hard. It's not easy to get here. You're talking about 8 teams out of the entire state.
Oh, it's not hard, and it's been a really look at Western Branch. I mean, they had everyone's. We'll see Grayson Western Branch for 3 years. It's like they're lifting up Coach Moore. Not a lot to lift up there. Look at that. They're sizing up that jacket. You know what I tell you? Then I buy Coach Moore
and he gets a kiss.
Yeah, they're kissing him.
Yeah.
Look at those guys. Look at this. Okay, guys. He's scared of heights. Look at that. Hey,
put me down. Put me down.
They're looking for the Gatorade. They're looking.
Here comes the Dumpster. May dump him here.
There it is.
Yeah. They're happy about this. State dual team champions, the Great Bridge Wildcats.
That's right. There they are. They're the fans, and they deserve it. Our hats off. I had a hat. I take it off. To Great Bridge. 44-14. An impressive win in the state AAA championships. And I'll have a word with Coach Martin and the team in just a couple of minutes there.
Tell you what, we did see some pins today. Danny DeReese pinned Ben Labrazzi at 112. Shannon Baines pinned Neil Johnson at 135. Mark Strickland pinned Nathan Hannum at 140. And then we saw a pin by David Hall of Nathan Frampton at 189. wrestlers, their state championships, and look at these guys. They're excited.
And they deserve to be excited.
Hey, cut that out.
The dumpster.
And we'll see them again. They can't celebrate for long because just next week the individual district tournaments start. And, you know, it's kind of like a track meet in the scoring in that, like the city meet and the regional meet in the individual tournament, the points are much more spread out.
Oh, much more. And I tell you what, we're going to have a race on our hands because we're going to have a race on our hands because Great Bridge does have some people that it's going to take the region to do it, but Western Branch is definitely going to be a definite threat to them, and there are some other great wrestlers. There's Cox, Green Run. It's going to filter down Great Bridge strength. Their overall balance, though, is going to probably put them right in contention, but Western Branch could definitely pull the upset there. And there's a fine gentleman is receiving the second place, Bill Carmen, the quiet coach of Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah, Bill Cameron, you know he's proud, second place in the state, but his wrestlers are really dejected. This is the first real emotion we've seen them display, and some of them are really upset.
And I think you talk about the way he acts, his team acts like that. A lot of class on these guys, win or lose.
And
these
now,
guys were gentlemen the whole way.
That's right.
Here are the champions, and they deserve it.
Watch, I bet they applaud. Watch. I bet the Stonewall Jackson kids applaud. And there they are. Oh, that's great.
Right.
That is great.
There it is, Great Bridge.
That's great. The
There they
Stonewall
are.
Jackson kids are applauding. Hey, I am impressed with the sportsmanship of that team. I am impressed.
Right, class act. Great Bridge has beat a fine team. And here they go, the kids that have made this year possible. And the bad news is there are mostly juniors on that squad, so they could be right back here again next year.
And there goes Shannon Baines to get his medal.
There they are, the state champions. Great Bridge High School.
There's Mark Strickland. Carlos Easton now coming to get his medal.
Adam Perry, underclassman, sophomore. I guess you can say that about a lot of these guys.
This is a team not rich in years, but wealthy in experience for sure.
There's David Smith, and there's David Hall, who ends the season undefeated, as did Mark Braid and a couple of other wrestlers that we saw.
Got to be impressed with Mark Braid. There's the dumpster.
There's a dumpster sign again. Maybe we'll get another look at that if we hadn't seen it enough.
Chris Smith, a guy who comes in and puts a lot of time in this program.
Yeah, he sure does, without compensation.
And there he is, first-year coach, Steve Martin.
With the state championship trophy, Frank's going to go around now and try to have a word with Coach Martin and the team.
What a...
There you can see it. That's Great Bridges. There's David Hall. Yeah, man, they can do it now. They can do it. Congratulations. There it is.
And the medals are being passed out to the wrestlers, their state championships. And look at these guys. They're excited.
And they deserve to be excited.
Hey, cut that out.
The dumpster.
And we'll see them again. They can't celebrate for long because just next week the individual district tournaments start. And, you know, it's kind of like a track meet in the scoring in that, like the city meet and the regional meet in the individual tournament, the points are much more spread out.
Oh, much more. And I tell you what, we're going to have a race on our hands because we're going to have a race on our hands because Great Bridge does have some people that it's going to take the region to do it, but Western Branch is definitely going to be a definite threat to them, and there are some other great wrestlers. There's Cox, Green Run. It's going to filter down Great Bridge strength. Their overall balance, though, is going to probably put them right in contention, but Western Branch could definitely pull the upset there. And there's a fine gentleman is receiving the second place, Bill Carmen, the quiet coach of Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah, Bill Cameron, you know he's proud, second place in the state, but his wrestlers are really dejected. This is the first real emotion we've seen them display, and some of them are really upset.
And I think you talk about the way he acts, his team acts like that. A lot of class on these guys, win or lose.
And
These
now,
guys were gentlemen the whole way.
That's right.
here are the champions, and
watch,
they deserve it.
Watch, I bet they applaud. Watch. I bet the Stonewall Jackson kids applaud. And there they are. Oh, that's great.
Right.
That is great.
There it is, Great Bridge.
That's great. The
There they
Stonewall
are.
Jackson kids are applauding. Hey, I am impressed
Very
with the
class act.
sportsmanship of that team. I'm impressed.
Right, class act, Great Bridge has beat a fine team. And here they go, the kids that have made this year possible. And the bad news is there are mostly juniors on
They're
that squad, so they could be right back here again next year.
And there goes Shannon Baines to get his medal.
Yeah, they are the state champions. Great Bridge High School.
There's Mark Strickland. Carlos Easton now coming to get his medal.
Adam Perry, underclassman, sophomore. I guess you can say that about a lot of these.
Yeah,
these guys.
This is a team not rich in years, but wealthy in experience for sure.
There's David Smith, and there's David Hall, who ends the season undefeated, as did Mark Braid and a couple of other wrestlers that we saw.
Got to be impressed with Mark Braid. There's the dumpster.
There's a dumpster sign again. Maybe we'll get another look at that if we hadn't seen it enough.
Chris Smith, guy who comes in and puts a lot of time in this program.
Yeah, he sure does, without compensation.
And there he is, first-year coach Steve Martin.
With the state championship trophy, Frank's going to go around now and try to have a word with Coach Martin and the team. And the Stonewall Jackson team still applaud Mickey.
I'll tell you, what a class act.
I've never been so impressed with the sportsmanship of a team as I'm impressed with Stonewall Jackson. You know, you don't have to win every time, and like they say, it's not how you win or lose, but how you play the game. And you got to be impressed with Stonewall Jackson. They played with the utmost class. Let's go to Frank now. Frank Lapoli out there on the floor.
Coach, right? And because I want to talk to a few of the wrestlers this time. They definitely deserve it. Coach Martin, first of all, congratulations. It looks like you put away a very physical Stonewall Jackson team early. You kind of took them right out of it.
Yeah, I think one a 3-pound match was really a big win for us. It kind of took the air out of them, basically. And then our other guys wrestled very well. All-out team effort.
Right. Then again at 125. 125 was a big win for you there, too. Did you win 25?
No, we didn't win 25.
What do I know? I just watch it. But the performance was good. I saw at 125 they had to win big, and they didn't. You guys were right on in it.
Yeah. What we have to do is we have to peak again for 3 more weeks for the district regionals and state.
Well, on this particular time, if you are the state champions, it is time to win it. We got Jason Evans here. I want to talk to him for 1 second. The dumpster. I hope I haven't started something here. You got your own fan club up in the stands.
Well, I ain't got much to say, you know. You started it.
Yeah. We appreciate everything, but one thing that is done, the champions for the 1992 Virginia State high school season, the dual meet champions, undoubtedly is Great Bridge High School.
All right, thanks a lot, Frank. We appreciate that. And Mickey, thanks for your help. Thank everybody from ACC 40 again. Let's mention our sponsors one more time. Thanks to Urban Landscaping and the help that they gave us. Also, Chesapeake Bay Corporation, the Atlantic Auto Auction, and Nels Ridge Car Wash for their help. Again, the final team score today, 44-14 in favor of the Wildcats. Mickey, did you enjoy yourself?
Pretty enjoyable night, and a real enjoyable night to be from Chesapeake.
Hey, there he is. Now we're going to get wrestled.
Frank and I are going to wrestle.
Now we're going to get wrestled.
Shoot some free throws, and
hey,
I'm
that's right.
get it.
See, he don't want any of me. He don't want any of me. For all the teams here, for all the people here at ACC 40, thanks a lot for being with us. Keep watching. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.
Oh! He's got me! That's illegal.